या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुड़ से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और सातवें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ, मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ, मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क, धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया।
Good afternoon, friends. A very warm welcome to all of you on this show called Business Opportunity Over Chai. Business Opportunity Over Chai is a show run by the management team of Franchise India, and we aim to bring you a new business opportunity every day at 12 o'clock. Today, we are here with a brand called Truww. True is the brand from Bangalore. We already have three running experience centers. True is providing you a complete one stop solution for your interior designs. Now, let's move ahead towards the webinar. From the brand side, we have Mr. Nishchay, the co-founder of the company. We have Mr. Rajat, the co-founder of the company. We have Ms. Varsha. She's leading the entire Pune region. We have Jyotish Nair, the key account manager for this brand. Now, before we move ahead towards the webinar, I would request the participants that if you have any questions related to the webinar, please put them in the Q&A box, and all your questions would be answered live during the session. Now, I would request Mr. Nishchay to take the podium and go ahead with the brand detailing in brief to our viewers so that it could be more fruitful for our people, our attendees who are attending the webinar. Mr. Nishchay, over to you.
Thank you, Arinima. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you're
Yeah,
audible.
great.
Yes,
Thank you.
you're-
Thank you. All right, guys. So thank you so much for providing this opportunity to connect with everyone and explain our brand Truww. So Truww is basically India's first completely automated home interior design company. When we say completely automated, what it means is that interior design has typically been a industry where there are a lot of errors and reworks that happen, and that's where the process is long run. What we have done is that we have made a huge automation in this complete journey of from the design till execution of a project, through which we are able to not only minimize the errors but also deliver a project very fast. So that's one of the major differentiations that Truww is able to bring onto the table, wherein we are able to deliver a project starting at 35 days, which is the fastest in the industry in India. And apart from that, we are a very young startup, and just started with one experience center in Bangalore, and then right now we are at third experience center, and we also signed up for our fourth one, and now we are looking to grow outside of Bangalore to other cities like Mumbai, Pune, Hyderabad, and Chennai. So I am one of the co-founders. I take care of the tech in Truww, and Rajat is there who takes care of the expansion and design stage. So I'll hand over to Rajat, who will further brief us on the franchising model and the expansion plans that we have in Truww.
Right. Thanks, Nishchay. Thanks, Arunima, for a wonderful introduction. Hello, guys. I'm Rajat. I'm one of the co-founder at Truww. Good afternoon to you all. So, talking about the brand, I'd like to add a bit more. So, we are a we are into basically turnkey residential interior services. So, when we say turnkey, it means that we do it right from designing till execution, and we do all the categories that a customer might have the requirement, that a new home buyer might have the requirement when they purchase a flat. Things like, let's say, modular kitchens, things like modular wardrobes, other woodworks, let's say false ceiling, lighting, tiling, countertop work. So these are to name a few, right? So, but then there are many more categories, and there are almost close to like 30 to 40 categories that we serve. Right. The how it works for a customer is that like customer comes to our experience centers wherein we have our own in-house designers. So these in-house designers will be taking a live designing session with the customers, wherein they understand their requirements in detail and they do a live detailed designing on their floor plan. So doing this, we are also doing the basically we are doing the live designing through this, and then we are also generating live estimates for the customers. So basically, that gives customers a very clear-cut idea with respect to like what we are offering them, and with respect to what the pricing would be, which is typically not the case in any other with any other conventional interior firms or most of the brands they don't offer like end-to-end solutions. So when we give them a very detailed estimate for each of their requirements, they get a very clear-cut idea, and that's what gives them the trust to move ahead with the brand. So over the past like 3 years, we have completed 700 plus projects, and then we are growing at a very fast pace. We have currently 3 experience centers in Bangalore, and each of our experience centers, for the past 3 months, we have been generating revenue of close to 1.5 CR per month. That's the average I'm talking about, and it's obviously growing. And then in Bangalore, we have even signed up a deal for the fourth experience center. So, and now, like in 2024, as Mr. told, like we are looking to expand in cities like Pune, Hyderabad, and Mumbai and Chennai. And then the model of the franchisee is the FOCO model. That's franchisee operated, company owned. Oh, sorry, franchisee owned and company operated. Wherein like franchisees will have to bring in the major, I mean, the capex investment. So the capital requirement is somewhere around like 60 to 70 lakhs, depending on the city, depending on what commercial space we are getting. And then a bit of operational cost will be there for the franchisee, wherein the working capital requirement comes in. So the working capital requirement would be close to 20 lakhs, again, depending on the city and then depending on the area that we are going to. The typical area requirement for a particular experience center is somewhere around 3,000 square feet. So in 3,000 square feet, part like around 50% of the space goes towards the display of the modular concepts and material samples and etc. And then around 50% of it goes towards the common facilities. Like, I mean, there will be meeting rooms that we would be needing, there will be conference rooms. So in total, there's a requirement of 3,000 square feet. Now, when we talk about what does the brand, I mean, how is it FOCO, and then what does the brand do? So basically, the entire staff will be inducted by Truww, and then they will be there on the brand's payroll. So when I say that, so in an experience center, typically somewhere around like 20 in-house interior designers will be there, and around like 10 people from sales will be there. So all these people, they will be chasing new home buyers to sign up their project with us. And so that's how it works. And the entire training and everything is being given by the brand. So in fact, like we launched our third experience center in Bangalore in September, by September end in Bangalore, in JP Nagar. And then in October itself, we did bookings worth 2 crore. So like we focus a lot on marketing activities before the brand launch, and during that month we even, I mean, run special offers. So we do very aggressive marketing and then aggressive pricing, and that's how we ensure that we are good to, I mean, good revenue achieved from the first month itself, and then we ensure that like the trajectory only moves upwards, right? And this has been one of the reasons why the third experience center has been done by the first by the first franchisee himself. So he himself, like, because obviously he was getting a good return, and that became a reason for him to invest further in our brand. So the in Bangalore currently, as I told, like we have like 3 experience centers, out of which two are owned by the same guy, and then one is being owned by another guy, and then fourth one we have again signed up a deal. So that's a bit about about the numbers, and a bit about like how we target business and all these things. So I would like to also, so like, I mean, present few videos to all everyone like whoever have joined, so that they get a bit more idea about like I mean what we do and then how we do it, right? So I'll be presenting my screen. My screen is presented. I hope you guys are able to see.
Yes, sir,
Yes.
it is visible.
Right. So yes, as Nishit told, like we are India's first fully automated home design company. So we have developed a lot of technology, and since 2020, when we started our journey, we have primarily focused on developing good technology so that the foundation is strong and we'll be able to scale the brand to greater heights. So these are all are the categories, like different categories that that we do. I mean, so a bit of, I mean, not all of them are displayed here, but yes, these are the primary categories. So right from woodwork, as I've told, like all other categories, like let's say countertops, let's say, I mean, any wallpapers, paint, any civil works, like let's say tiling, etc. Like everything is being covered. So it's a proper like one-stop solution to the new home buyers. Very few, first of all, like very few brands in India are actually able to do this, wherein they give a very detailed level of estimate with respect to all the things, right? So they might be giving an estimate only for, let's say, kitchen, or let's say a bit of woodwork, I mean, a bit of lighting with it. So they might be giving basically quotation only for the woodwork and the lightings, but then not for each of these categories. But then when we give these detailed estimates to the customers, that's what I told earlier, they get a very clear-cut picture. So this is about the team, like me and Nishya are the two co-founders, and the bit about the brand journey. So like, I mean, we started in January 2020, and then, I mean, so that's how like we have grown. I mean, we have launched like multiple experience centers, and we have grown to a team of, actually it's 100 plus people. So we have grown to a team of 100 plus people in Bangalore today. In fact, the current number is 120 plus. So all these are like in-house employees. So our target customers are basically, as I told earlier, these are like new home buyers and people who are looking to get their homes renovated. And how does it work? Like, I mean, so when a new home buyer user submits their inquiry over our website, we generate instant quotes for them based on the budget and the requirements. And then if they are okay with the initial level of estimate, then they can schedule a meeting with the designers in our experience centers. And these experience centers is what, like, I mean, we franchise. I mean, so basically we're talking about franchisees for the experience centers. And then once they meet the designers in the experience center and they are okay with the estimates and the designs, they go ahead and they pay token advance amount to get their project kick started. So it is at this point when a real involvement starts of our team, wherein we do a very detailed level of measurement of the site, and then again we start with the designing, and once the design
We can't hear you, Rajat.
hello.
I think Rajat, now you're audible again.
Not,
I'm
I'm
not.
not audible.
You are audible now.
Okay. So this is a floor plan of a customer. So the walls are being created, and
Rajat, I think the video is not getting shared.
it's not
Uh,
getting shared.
no,
Okay.
no, because you have shared a specific tab, right? So
Okay, got it. Let me share the entire screen then. Just a minute. Sorry, guys. Wait, just a minute. Share.
So right now, only the PowerPoint is shared. The rest of the things are not shared.
Yeah, I'm sharing the entire screen.
Sure. Yeah, now I think
Just let me know in case like it's not working even now. Just a minute, I'm sharing the screen. Uh,
yeah, no, it's
is it audible now? And is the sound there, Nischay?
no, the sound is not there. I think you need to share the computer audio.
I think that's fine. I think
Yeah,
sound is not much required. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll just deal with it again. So basically, this is a floor plan of a customer on which the walls are being created by the designer, right? So this is the actual floor plan of a customer. And this is what I was talking about. Like on the floor plan, we create the designs. I'll just fast forward it a bit. So this is the kitchen area. So here, like just final touches are being given for the wall. And this is a plugin to this software. So this is a cloud-based plugin that we have created from scratch. So this is a completely in-house software that our designers use. So from here, like they will be adding the different kind of modules for the kitchen, the different kind of cabinets, basically, that would be required to to make a modular kitchen. This is how they select the finishes and different other aspects like handles, etc. So a module has been created from our plugin, which the designer can drag and drop on the floor plan. So they can edit the measurements, they can edit the number of shutters, basically the overall, I mean, the design, they can edit whatever they want. And this gets updated in real time. So if you see, there's a live estimate that has been generated over here. Like for the kitchen base unit, there are two different modules, and the total is somewhere close to like 1,40,000 after discount. So this is what I was talking about. So with the live designing, we also generate the live estimates. Now, this is next level of transparency that customer gets, which is definitely not the case with most of the players in the market. And what we have been designing out here is mostly the kitchen, but then I mean there are like many other things that we can design using this software, right? So even the wardrobes, and we even design like false ceiling, and we even include lightings in that using the software. So this is definitely like I mean something which is a very breakthrough achievement that we have had with respect to the technical development. And this has been helping us a lot in terms of like I mean doing on spot closes. So I just exit this video. So I just wanted to show a bit. I just wanted to give a bit of idea with respect to like how the live designing is done, and then how the estimates are linked to the software, and then how does it work, right? So I'll just exit this video now. So I'll just present the slide again. And there is one more thing that I wanted to present is basically the quotation page that's there for the customers once the live designing is completed. So I'll just open that page. Yeah. So basically, this is the page. This is the payment page which customers are directed to when live designing session is done. So this is how they get the detailed estimates, like what's the value for the woodwork, what's the value for civil works and other marketplace products, like let's say lights or let's say countertops or any other thing for that matter. This is the total budget, and then they get all the other relevant details like which will be the designer who will be working on their project, who is the design manager, then what are the inclusions in the design stage, what's the payment schedule, what's the cancellation policy, and then so they also get a very clear cut idea with respect to when the handover date would be. Now, this is another very challenging aspect which is there otherwise in this industry, wherein like service providers, they are not able to transparently communicate with respect to the handover date, but we do it very transparently. And in case we are not able to execute the project on time, then we pay 2,000 rupees as delay penalty. And we are the only brand in India which has been, paying such high delay penalties and if the timelines are not met. So this also creates next level of trust, and that's how like our conversion rates are a bit better compared to the other competitors in the market. And to do this, we are very confident. So for us to give this commitment of 2,000 rupees per day's delay penalty, definitely we as a brand, like we are very confident with respect to whether how we'll be achieving that date, and all our backend operations and the project management aspects are well taken care of using the software. So that's the thing, right? So now this was the payment page that's there for the customer once they come for the first time, and that's how we book the projects. And now again, I'd like to come back to the slide. So here, just a minute. Yeah. So real is the software name that basically means real in French. So they get a very real presentation, realistic presentation with respect to the designs and our offering. Now, one more aspect that I would like to highlight that's has been happening in this industry is basically how the market has been shifting from the unorganized players to the organized players. So now, who are the unorganized players, right? So when we talk about unorganized players, so there are like vendors like carpenters, there will be freelancer interior designers who have just recently passed out or might be operating for 2-3 years, and they somehow know that customer through some family or through some friends, right? So those we term as basically the unorganized players, and then small time interior firms. And there are like certain organized players in the market, like so there will be celebrated interior firms. There are many in Mumbai particularly, and then like there will be conventional brands like let's say Godrej or Asian Paints, and then there will be new age companies and new age brands like us, like Home Lane, Live Space. So these are a few competitors. So all these are basically categorized under the organized players. So the market has shifted a lot. The market share has shifted a lot towards the organized players. If I talk about last 5 years, so 5 years back, I think market share for organized players, it was just around 3-4%, but then it has increased to 20%, around 15 to 20% in the last 5 years. So that's a huge like consolidation that has happened, and it will even happen further because the way like brands like us focus on customer experience, obviously unorganized players and the conventional firms, they are not able to focus, and they're not that tech driven also, because interiors is a very complicated service. There are so many different kind of vendors involved, a lot of interdependencies between at different levels in the supply chain. So when we have involved technology, so definitely it's improving the customer experience. And that's how, like, over a period of time, like, the organized players market share will be even more. That's what is today, and that's what we are betting on. That's what we are betting on as in terms of growth, right? So, and few other aspects would be like when we talk about the industry at an overall level. So first of all, I'd like to say that like this industry is very huge. It's a very huge opportunity because like if you talk about Indian market itself, so in India, the overall TAM, the total addressable market is somewhere close to 30 billion USD. So that's a very big number because obviously it's a high value service and there are people who are buying homes, right? If you talk about India as a whole, so must be around 1 million homes gets constructed every year. And when we talk about all these big cities, so like around 50 to 60%, 70% of the construction happens in all these cities. So obviously, like, I mean, since we see like the kind of demography that India has, and so there will be more people who will be earning a lot more in the coming 10 years. So that's where they will, they will work on their dream of like purchasing a home, and then that's where the interior demands will be there. And these days, like finance has become very easy, right? So like it's very easy to get a home loan compared to what it was like around 5 years back. So that's another driving factor of like why like I mean things are moving in the right direction and why there's a huge market opportunity, right? So that was another aspect to it. Now talking about just so what's the value proposition of the brand, right? So I mean, first of all, we have all in-house designers, and all these in-house designers are like are having good experience. I mean, they are well trained, and then the kind of experience that you get from these designers are definitely not the case with the regular designers in the market, and because they're well trained and we have a well-defined SOP that guides them to follow that process, and then that's how we ensure like that predictability is there with respect to the customer experience. And the second important thing is that we do customize designs. Now, there are like many brands which have already scaled in India, like brands like Homeland Live Space. So there are a lot of restrictions, primarily because the kind of technology that they use and the kind of technology that we use. So there's a vast difference there. So with respect to our technology, since it's completely in-house, we are able to do a lot of customizations, which otherwise they are not able to do. So that's another very important aspect because when you talk about interiors, people must have been dreaming about their dream home for quite some time, and then they will have their own set of images from Pinterest, from any other like Google and any other social media thing, and then they'll be very particular with the requirement because like they have spent a lot of money purchasing the home, and obviously they're spending a good amount of money towards interiors also. So since they have the budget, so they are like, Array, if we are spending so much, so why can't we get like what we want? So with respect to customizations, since like we do it to the fullest, so customers are very happy with the designs that we offer, and that's how like we again have a better conversion rate. And there are other aspects like I mean we have the shortest timelines in the industry when it comes to basic woodwork projects. So we are the only brand in India which came up with 35 days execution timeline. No other brand have ever introduced this. And then as you would have shown, like as you would have seen, like we generate live codes at every stage. At every stage of designing, we generate the live codes, and then customers are able to see their homes in realistic 3D. So that's the primary value proposition. These are the like primary value propositions that the brand has. And these are the timelines for the projects. Like there are different categories of timelines. And then, so as we have already told, like the current brand footprint is there are like 3 operational experience centers in Bangalore, and then we are coming up with one more experience center by Feb 24. So these are the plans for expansion at Hyderabad, Pune, Mumbai, Chennai. And then talking about the financials a bit in detail. So basically, the area requirement for the franchisee unit is somewhere around 3,000 square feet. And then the capital investment is somewhere around 60 to 70 lakhs. depending on the city. So if it's Mumbai, obviously it will be more. If it's Pune, Hyderabad, or Chennai, it will be towards 60 lakhs. And these also comprises of the franchisee fee or the technical know-how fee that we'll be charging. That's around 8 lakh. Then how does the franchisee gets paid out? So basically, they get paid out on the net realized revenue. So what is net realized revenue? Because the sales cycle and the revenue cycle in this industry is a bit prolongated. So it means that, let's say, if customer books the project with us today, we won't be realizing the revenue the same day, because the designing will be done. Then once the designs are freezed, that's where we take the major advance of the project, and that's where we realize the major revenue. So basically, the revenue cycle is long. So what happens, like we give commissions to the franchisee on the net realized revenue. So net realized revenue is nothing, the overall revenue realized less any refunds and all. Though there are very less refunds, but still, like, I mean, so that's the concept of NRR. That's like net realized revenue, and then we pay commission on it on a monthly basis on slab wise. So let's say if the first slab is, let's say, 1 crore. So on 1 crore, there will be an X percentage, which will be on the higher side, let's say 4% or 3% or 5%, right? So like that will be there on the higher side, so that the franchisee franchisees are able to generate that money to pay their operational expenses. Because when it comes to operational expenses, the franchisee will have to bear things like rentals, electricity, and maintenance costs related to the maids, and a bit of like beverages like tea, coffee, water. All these expenses will be borne by the franchisee, and the brand will be bearing the major OpEx. That's basically towards the salary of the employees who will be there in the experience center. So in each of these experience centers, we have somewhere close to 30 people, as I've told earlier. So there will be a salary payout of close to like 15 to 20 lakh, and then will be marketing budget of somewhere around 5 lakhs per month. So that's the OpEx that the brand will be bearing. And then let's say heavy OpEx, right? So we run heavy OpEx. We run it heavy OpEx in the FOCO model. And the franchisee OpEx is less. So yes, but then as I've told earlier, like, I mean, the commissions rates will be higher in the initial slab. So if it's like first 1 crore of realized revenue for a month, then there will be 4% to 5% depending on the city. Then the next slab will come. I mean, let's say for the next 1 crore, there will be a reduced commission percentage. That's how it goes. So if I talk about the average annual ROI for a financial projected period for 5 years, then on the aggressive side, it's somewhere close to like 80%. On the conservative side, it's somewhere close to 50%. So that's the average annual ROI I'm talking about. And then talking about the cumulative ROI, again, on the aggressive side, it's somewhere close to 400%. And on the conservative side, it would be somewhere close to 300%. The expected payback period is somewhere close to like 2 years. And the franchising contract we do is for 5 years. And there is also a working capital requirement, which is not included in this 60, 70 lakhs. That is of somewhere close to 20, 25 lakhs. This comprises primarily the rentals and the OpEx that the franchisee will have to bear in the initial months, because obviously as the revenue cycle is longer, so they might not be able to realize the commission so soon. So it will take some time for them to realize that commission, but so it won't exceed this. I think it will be close to this, and we have already considered interest payout of 1% and I mean of 1% per month towards this working capital in the overall financial projection that we have done. And also for the payback period. So we have already considered the interest cost towards it. And now, so that's a brief like financial snapshot. And then the franchising model, as I told earlier, like it's FOCO model. And then we target commercial spaces basically in good market areas wherein like good developments are happening, as in residential, near to residential clusters or near to tech hubs, where like majority of target customers will be there. So, but then we don't need the commercial properties in the ground floor. I mean, we need it either in the first floor or the second floor. So we don't need it on the ground floor. So that's where we save on the rent. So that's another important aspect. And then area is 3,000 square feet, and then revenue stream for the franchise basically becomes. Then, as I told earlier, like we give the complete brand support. So the entire training and operations is handled by the brand. Marketing campaigns are run by the brand. Pricing strategies will be decided by the brand depending on like what other competitors in the market, are basically pricing. And as for that, like we'll be having our own pricing strategy. And then, yes, I mean, the promotional support and marketing, as I told earlier, will be completely handled by them. Now, that's it about the overall intro from my side. If there are queries, please reach out to us to the Q&A section. And then if someone of you are interested to know about the brand more, then please scan this form. You can fill up the details. So we will reach out to you. Our key account manager will reach out to you, or I'll be reaching out to you to share further details, and we can have a detailed meeting if anyone of you are interested. So you can take a photo of this and then you can fill it up later also.
Well, thank you so much, Rajatji, for presenting this opportunity to all our investors who have come in. And thank you so much, Nishyaji, for being with us. And friends, I'll quickly recap. And I would say it's a wonderful presentation. I have not seen many companies presenting in so much of depth, which actually reflects your understanding of the business and also how efficient your overall system is, right? So, friends, quickly on the opportunity. So they're a Bangalore-based company, and as you could see and also hear, they currently have about 5 locations, of which 3 are already up and running, and there are 2 locations which are coming up. So which covers the entire city of Bangalore, and all these locations, and I think Rajatji also mentioned 2 locations are taken up only by 1 partner. So you can imagine the kind of throughput, the business, the commitment they have towards each of these stores, and the locations which they have put in a rollout. I saw cities like Hyderabad, Pune, and these are the biggest, leading markets when it comes to, home in terms of interiors, furniture market. These are some of the leading markets. So Bangalore, they've already captured. There are 4 markets which they want to, in fact, go on a franchisee-owned company operated model, because they want to control the last mile experience with the client, so to say. So the opportunity is where the franchise partner would make the investment, bring in the real estate, and the company would take care of the entire day-to-day operations. So broadly, there are 3 things which the company takes care of. They do end-to-end turnkey, from designing to execution, which includes designing, which includes preparation of your 2D or 3D drawings for your interiors. And they're also integrated players. So they have their own manufacturing unit or facility, I would say, which kind of procures the material that needs to be finished, and as per the design which has been approved by the client. And finally comes the installation, which is also a very big part of the industry. And all these 3 elements are taken care by the company, right? And customization, as Rajatji mentioned, is the norm in the industry today. Now, in-house designers, they have who work with the client to customize the design, and great back-end integration and technology, which is, I would say, the biggest challenge in the industry is turnaround time or the delivery. And I heard Rajatji talk about the penalties they pay to their customers. And in fact, we work with a lot of companies in this space, and some of the names, the leading names. And turnaround time, supply or delivery to a customer is something which is a very, very big challenge in the industry. And not many companies have been able to, address that. And they seem to have done that very, very effectively, right? And so when it comes to customer taking a decision, they're led by convenience. So a quick delivery influences their decision, big time in this business. So the model, typically when it comes to, how do we source? So they would also be employing about 10 people. And these are resources which are directly on the rolls of the company. For a business of this nature, direct sales is something which is very, very important, where these business development teams would go out in the market and, bring in the required project. So typically when we talk about the revenue or the projects coming in, your target audience typically gets divided into 3 broad categories. One is your retail customer, which can come online, offline, And the second is a business which also comes through influencers like your designers, interiors, architects, so to say. And third is institutional, which are comparatively bigger orders, wherein I take a bigger corporate, I do the interiors of that. And pricing for institutional comparatively is negotiated because the project size is bigger. So three formats, not three formats, I would say three target audience, which typically the business development teams would actually reach out to. Now, consumption of, and especially housing, we saw some numbers which Rajati mentioned in this presentation. Housing in India is a very big market. New housing to renovation is a addressable target audience, which in fact is very, very big, right? So, and home is a very big ticket size. And with reduced makeover cycles, people and consumers are indulging more in their homes today than they were maybe, maybe a decade or 2 decades back. So what a partner needs to bring in is an area of 3,000 square feet. I saw somebody writing in how much is the area which is required. So 3,000 is the average area which is required. And larger part of it, or I would say 50% of that would go into display of the inventory, which would be 1,500 square feet. And then you also need rooms, because most of the clients that would come in would need to consult, they need to sit, they need to discuss. So it would include consulting rooms, meeting rooms, and also the reception area. The entire investment, including your basic capex and the inventory, would be about 60 odd lakhs. The average business which they're doing is about 1.5 crores, and annually it comes to about 18 odd crores. And you can imagine in a Bangalore market, if they're operating these 3 centers, 2 more coming up, and all these centers more or less does similar business. So the performance slabs created by them are also very attractive, where anything between 2 to 4% is what a franchisee would get. And we'll take more information, Rajaji, from you with respect to that. Now, a couple of questions which I have, and if maybe we can club these questions also together. And friends, if you need more information, I would also request you an offline call or a meeting, which we can line up with Mr. Rajat and Mr. Nishay. So, typical, when we talk about a format like this, so what is the displays that we need at the outlet? And you talked about 30 odd categories, which are the fast moving categories, and typical display that we have, and how much would a typical category would need a percentage of, I would say, the area at the outlet.
Right. So basically, when we talk about the major categories, so if let's say if there's a project value of 10 lakh rupees, just for an example, so around 7 lakh worth of it will be towards the woodwork. So when I say woodwork, it comprises of both modular and non-modular works. Things like, let's say, in the modular work, it would be modular kitchens, modular wardrobes. In non-modular work, it would be probably some paneling that has to be done at the site, some wooden panelings and things like that. So this is the major revenue stream for a 10 lakh project, right? 70% of it, that's the average. And then the other 30% would be certain other products, like let's say lights for the false ceiling, let's say appliances, let's say some civil work like countertop works and all. So when it comes to the display area, so as you have also rightly cited, like a majority part of the carpet area would go towards the display. So somewhere around 50-60% would go towards that. And in that, we'll be displaying different kind of concepts. Like, let's say there will be 2 modular kitchens, there will be few wardrobes, there will be a living room concept wherein a TV unit and a prayer unit, crockery unit might be there. So basically, we display how we do a home, right? So a home is being displayed at the experience center. It's more or less like that, but with different concepts in different themes, in different materials. And the part of the experience center also goes towards the material library, wherein there is where we'll be displaying few other categories that we target. So things like certain hardwares, things like let's say wallpaper sample books, paint sample books, fabric sample books. So all these things will be there in the material library. So the majority part of the experience center, as I told, is basically when it comes to the display, the majority part of it is being given towards the modular works and the woodwork, because that's the major category that we have. And along with that, we also display certain other things which are ancillary to that requirement. Might be lights or might be any other thing. So that's how it goes.
It's very helpful. And how about the average, order value when we talk about a home renovation or maybe a room renovation or a kitchen? Would you want to give the average structure that we
sure. So the average order value in Bangalore market is somewhere close to 8 lakhs. That's the current average order. So there would be projects worth 30 lakhs also, there would be projects worth 5 lakhs also. But then the average that we see in Bangalore market is basically 8 lakhs. For Mumbai market, it for particularly for Mumbai and Hyderabad market, it will be a bit more. It might be towards 10 lakh, 12 lakh. That's the average that we are talking. And then that's the average order value. And then talking about the number of orders in a month. So we easily target somewhere close to like 20 to 30 orders from each of these experience centers.
And which is the biggest, is that kitchen that forms a bigger revenue
Yes.
stream for you?
Yes. So kitchens and wardrobes, these two are the primary category sides.
And how much would this contribute, Rajat, to the overall revenue?
Somewhere around 40-45%.
45% comes from these two.
Yeah, might be more, might be 50% also, but yes, at least like 40% will be there in any of them.
And how much typically a kitchen would cost, and how much would be a wardrobe project that we undertake?
Right. So a kitchen, let's say having measurement of somewhere around like, kitchen area having measurement of somewhere close to like 8 feet by 10 feet, the kitchen, modular kitchen, like let's say the base cabinet, the wall cabinet, including all the different kind of hardwares and accessories, it would cost somewhere close to 3 to 3.5 lakhs.
And the
Let's say
wardrobe?
laminate films. And wardrobe would cost somewhere around like a lakh if it's a hinge wardrobe with loft.
I think
So I
see.
wanted to just address a little bit about the materials that we use. So our target audience is people who are looking at a long life of a furniture, right? So traditionally Indian people, they used to use solid wood, and now we have materials like plywood and MDF and particle board. So while particle board and MDF, these things come at a very lower price, but the life of them is like only a few years. Whereas we only try to deal with a plywood material which comes for a minimum of 15 to 20 years of life, and we ourselves provide a 10 years of warranty. So that's one of the reason why the cost is going to be slightly on the higher side when you compare it with a product which is made in particle board or with a MDF.
It's very important to know. I think somebody did ask about the material being used.
Yes. So MDF is engineered wood, which basically is used mostly in the Western countries because plywood is banned in some of these European countries. But in India, we still prefer to use plywood.
That's important, especially kitchens are very different to Western kitchens. Right. We have wet kitchens in India.
Yes.
Does not give durability if you use a material which is not long lasting. So I'll quickly take up some questions, and Rajat, Nishit, if you want to pick up anything, you let me know. I think some have already been answered. I see.
Right.
Okay, one is on the role of a franchisee, and I also wanted to ask you, because the entire operations are taken care by the company, the visibility of the sales at the outlet, how is that we give, transparency to a franchisee on that?
Right. So basically, when it comes to the involvement of the franchisee, like someone has already asked, so it's very less because since it's in FOCO model, so the entire operations are being handled by the brand, right from hiring till induction, till day-to-day operations and day-to-day management, and even like weekly reviews or bi-weekly reviews from the management level, so that we drive like good business from each of these units. So it's entirely taken by the brand. What the franchisee would probably have to do is just to ensure that the space is functioning well. As in, let's say there might be some issues that might come in from that commercial complex, which needs to be addressed. So all those matters related to the space that has to be taken care by the franchisee on, because they are also the ones who are ultimately in agreement for that commercial space. So they will be the one who will be responsible for that. So that's the only involvement from the franchisee. Coming about like how the details will be there and what kind of data will be shared with them. So we share a live dashboard with these franchisee owners, wherein on a live basis, like the sales figures and everything gets updated on a monthly level. And then we have various other like tools which we use, like Google Sheets also we use to calculate and then to come up with the franchisee commission and all these things. So we have like various tools for that, but yes, there's a live dashboard for them to get more idea on what business that we have done.
Sure. Gee, I think two questions which I'll take, and I was reading some of the questions from our friends who have joined in. We talked about an annual revenue, for example, 18 crores, right? And I understand it takes some time to reach that kind of level of 1.5. So
Right.
how
Right.
long does it take, or how many months it takes for somebody to reach a level of 1.5 crores of a monthly
Right.
cycle?
Mostly second month you would hit that. I mean, so
Second
as I
month.
told,
Because
yeah,
you have a
second
very
to
big
third.
sales team. I see you have
Right.
a
Around
provision,
10 people.
10 people.
people.
So second month you reach a
Yeah.
cycle
So
of
as I
1.
told earlier, like in JP Nagar that we launched in the month of September in Bangalore, in October we have done bookings worth 2 crore. But then the thing is that the revenue realization happens in a bit staggered manner.
Yes,
Reason being
absolutely.
because so that's the concept.
Correct.
But ideally, like what happens, like when we start with such kind of booking levels, so it's quite obvious that in second year the revenue realization will pick up to a very
Higher,
greater extent.
absolutely. Yes,
So because there will be many projects handover that would be happening,
correct.
there will be certain delays from the builders, all those things. So we'll be having a very amazing sales pipeline for the second and the third. So second and third year are the peak, and obviously like fourth and fifth year is more towards like how we are taking the brand and how the industry is consolidating towards the organized
Correct.
place.
Absolutely.
Right.
Rajatji, we have two big, I would say categories to focus. One is obviously new housing. There's a new, housing which is big. The other is also renovation, where people want to renovate their kitchens or perhaps room. Based on the
Right.
experience that you have in Bangalore, what is the revenue that
Major.
comes from these two categories?
So basically, new home projects are the major category. So around 90% of our revenue, I would say, like would come from projects like this. Around 10% projects comes from the renovation projects. So again, it depends like where the experience center is located and all
Absolutely,
this
yes.
thing,
And
because
based on the location you are or the city you are, these dynamics would change.
yeah, this dynamic, because someone was telling me like in Mumbai, like somewhere near Borivali, I'm not remembering the exact place, but then someone was telling me that in that particular locality, renovation projects are more. So
Absolutely.
basically, it
Pune is a
will,
very big market. Bombay absolutely is a very big market, and new housing in all these cities, including Pune, Bombay, is very, very big. And Hyderabad is a very big ticket size, right? People spend a lot of money on their
right,
new
right,
renovations and
right,
new
right.
housing. The ticket size in that market is very big. Now, I think I saw somebody asking on the slab structure, and Rajaji, you want to give an example of what typical slab structure would look like, both in terms of absolute amount. For example, if you're doing, say, 1.5 crores, so and maybe at a 75 lakh, what he gets, at a 1.75, what he gets, and what would that convert to in terms of his commission?
Sure, sure. So for that, I'd like to present a screen, Just a minute. Let me open franchisee financial plan for Pune and the city, because for Mumbai we have another plan. So just- so this is the basically commission slab that we have finalized for Pune, Hyderabad, and Chennai. So that's how the commission slab goes. So basically, for the first 75 lakhs of realized revenue, there is a commission slab of 4%. Between 75 lakhs to 175 lakhs, it's basically on the next one CR, it's 3%. Above 175 lakhs is basically 2%. Now, how does it work? If let's say in any month, there is a revenue realization of 1 crore. So in that month, for the initial 75 lakh, the calculation will be done at 4%. For the next 25 lakh, the calculation will be done at 3%. So that's how the calculation will be done. So it's not like there's a flat percentage that will be applied to the realized revenue.
Differential.
Basically, that's the differential percentage slab. So talking about, let's say, the first year, so if there are on an average like 20 monthly orders, so average ticket value being 8 lakhs, so less of GST, the amount comes to, the realized revenue comes to somewhere around like 1.3 crore. And then that's the annual revenue run rate, a realized revenue run rate. And uh, that's the overall commission that we are generating for the franchisee at an annual level, like somewhere around, let's say, 56 lakh. At a monthly level, it's somewhere close to 4.7 lakhs. Then these are the expenses. So for the first year, we are talking about these cash flow, right? So that's the net cash flow for the franchisee, somewhere around 1.5 lakh, and then 3.3 lakhs, and then 4.75 lakhs. So this is how, like, I mean, it will progress. And then so that's about the commission slab, and then how commissions will be calculated, and what's the commission, average commission that we are talking. So for the first year, the average monthly commission with 20 orders would be somewhere close to 4.6 lakhs. Again, I'm just reiterating things. And then for the second and the third year, it would be somewhere close to 6.6 lakhs, and then 8 lakhs with 30 and 40 orders.
Helpful, Rajatji. And friends, just to maybe also, kind of simplify that for you, because you want to know absolute terms. So if you have a revenue done, say 75 lakhs, this 4% would translate to about 3 lakhs of a commission structure. Now, a slab from 1 crore to 75 to 1.75 crore is where you get another additional 3%. So, which also translates to about 3 odd lakhs. And then 1.75 upwards, there is a flat 2% commission structure. So if we take that, maybe 1 lakh, 1.5, whatever number you're able to achieve. So averagely, after the outlet reaches their optimum level, you would be able to do at least about 6 to 7 lakhs of a average monthly commission. Is that right, Rajatji?
More than, yeah, more than 8 lakhs. Somewhere close to 8 to 10 lakhs. Yeah. Would be the.
Right. So when they hit the higher slab and second, third month, you mentioned in September when you opened the one in JP Nagar, you hit the slab of 1.5 in the very second month. Great, friends, please reach out to us. We also have our leadership and teams which are working in the market. So we have Varsha, who leads our entire business for Pune market. She would be working with her teams, and we also have Jyotish from our team in Bombay, who is also working on the project. So please reach out to us if you need any information. We'll be happy to furnish the information, get you on one-to-one call. If you want to understand how the unit economics has been worked out, we'll be happy to discuss with you. Anybody who wants to visit their experience center in Bangalore, I would definitely recommend that. They have a great infrastructure and facilities back in Bangalore. And somebody who's keen, I would really request you spend at least a day, but we'll be getting you on a call first, and you can plan a visit to the center. Before we close, Rajatji, Nishchaji, you want to share any message with everybody listening to you?
So would you like to add something?
So first of all, thank you to the Franchise India team for organizing this webinar. And I see that, we have got some questions, and I hope we have answered everyone's questions. And please feel free to reach out to Franchisee India or to us directly for if you have any other doubts that you could not ask at this point, or you might have in future. And yes, as Sonia ma'am correctly said, please plan a visit to our Bangalore studio, so you can get a real understanding of how our brand is growing, and what is the difference that we are able to create. So I think yesterday we had someone from Franchise India who visited us, and
Mr. Ramana.
Mr. Ramanan visited us, and he was feeling very confident after the visit about our brand. So I think that would really help us. And overall, we are looking to really revolutionize how interiors is done in the country, and bring this from reaching out to carpenter, calling him thrice a day to turn up, to a completely different kind of a service where things are delivered to you before you anticipate them. And we just need the support of people to grow this brand to the each and every corner of India.
Wonderful, and congratulations to the work that you have done. Very impressed with the business that you've built in a short span of time. And friends, not many companies undertake to do franchisee-owned company-operated business model, and because they thoroughly understand their business. They understand the market. They've taken the responsibility of that, and equally they are very sensitive about how a customer experiences their brand, and hence this is the model they want to do. And the markets have also been very, very carefully selected, because I see some response from cities which are outside the markets are spoken. So these are the markets where we want to be in, and we want to create a cluster also in these markets, like they have done in the city of Bangalore. So thank you so much once again, Nishyaji, Rajatji, for being with us
Thanks
today.
a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Over to you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, Rajatji. Thank you, Nishyaji, for a wonderful presentation and briefing our participants about this interior decoration entire one-stop solution. Thank you, Varsha. Thank you, Jyotish, for joining us. And friends, now I'll share you the details for tomorrow's webinar. Tomorrow at the same time, we're going to come up with another business opportunity for you from the brand called JST Popcorn. Let me share my screen to you. So our registration links are already open, and you can join in advance to attend this webinar. So thank you, friends, for joining us, and have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Thanks, Arun.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Anima.